Hello and welcome to this new lecture. In this particular lecture, we are going to continue with the aspect of res judicata. In the previous lecture, we discussed that how the idea of res judicata is developed, okay, how we can find it under section number 11. We read the Bare Act and we also discussed what is the object of res judicata. Now, the next point with respect to res judicata that we are going to focus on in this particular lecture is when this principle of res judicata will be applicable. So, in this particular lecture, we will discuss the different conditions for the application of section number 11. These conditions are provided in section number 11 only, and we will read these conditions along with the explanations that are attached to this section. Okay, what are these conditions? Suppose there must be a previous suit. Okay, a previous suit should be there. Okay, there should be a court which should have the jurisdiction. Okay, it should conclusively determine the rights. Okay, there should be parties who are bound by it, even their representatives. So all these conditions that are showing when res judicata will be applicable. Okay, if these conditions are satisfied, res judicata will be applicable. If these conditions are not justified, not provided, res judicata will not be applicable. So let us discuss these conditions one by one. Okay. Now, if you have to apply the principle of res judicata, first thing is the matter that we are dealing with, it should directly and substantially in issue in the subsequent suit. Okay, it must be seen. So subsequent suit and previous suit, there are two concepts. In the previous suit, whatever is the matter, okay, which is an issue, should be the same which is in the subsequent suit. Okay, same matter should be in the subsequent suit. Now, this same matter should be either actually the same matter or it can also be constructively the same matter. What is constructively the same matter, we will discuss a little later on. Okay, for this we have to read explanation 1, 3 and 4. The point here is it should be directly and substantially in issue. Okay, this is the key word that we have to focus on. I am just highlighting you the keywords, then we will discuss these one by one. Okay, now the former suit that we are talking about, it should be a suit between the same parties or between parties whom they are or any of them claim, which means that they should be having a same representative, okay, or the same parties. For this we have explanation 6. First of all, let us discuss 1, 3 and 4. Okay, now under explanation 1 we have tried to define the expression former suit. Okay, former suit will include within its ambit a suit which has been decided prior to the suit in question. So suppose this is a subsequent suit and this is a prior suit. Now, a former suit. Now, this former suit should be decided before this. Okay, so even dates do not matter here. Date of institution of suit does not matter here in case of former suit. We will calculate the date based on the day when the case is decided. So, a former suit means a suit which is decided before this present suit. Okay, whether or not it was instituted prior to it does not matter. Explanation 2. For the purpose of understanding the competency of the court, it shall be determined irrespective of any provisions with respect to appeal. Whether there is a right of appeal from the decision of that court, it does not matter. When we are going to decide the competence, we will decide the competence whether it has the competence to decide the matter in issue or not. If that previous, in that former suit, if the court had the power, if the court had the competence, then it will fall under the ambit of res judicata. Third, explanation. The matter that we are talking about here, okay, matter in issue, it must be referred to in the former suit. Okay, it must have been alleged by one party and denied by another party. Now, this allegation, this denial can either be express, it can also be implied. Then the fourth explanation, which is very important, okay, when we're talking about the same parties, any matter, okay, which might or ought to have been made, okay, in the former suit, a defense was available to you. You might have made it or you should have made it, but you did not use it, then a presumption will be made that you have used it, and now in a next suit or in a subsequent suit you cannot raise that ground again. Okay, we will discuss it in detail. Just understand explanation 4, that if there is a ground that you should have taken in the former suit but you did not take it, okay, now in the subsequent suit you cannot raise that point. You cannot say that I did not raised this point, so that is where res judicata should not be applicable. No, this will not be allowed. Okay, so any matter which might or out have been made a ground of defense in the former suit, we will make a presumption that it has been made and that particular matter is decided. Okay, now